Hi guys! So this video is going to be all about my proposal and how Chris proposed to me. It's really special, and every time I see people get engaged on YouTube, I wish they would let people know about the proposal, but I guess some are really special or they don't want to share it kind of thing. So I get that, but to me, knowing how the proposal happened is like one of the most special things, and mine is so personal and kind of non-replicated. Like, you can't really replicate it. I guess you could, but I mean, it's really, really personal, so I wanted to share it with you. Okay, so it's December the 14th. It was Sunday. I was sleeping, sound asleep, and the alarm went off at 5 in the morning. And Chris gets up for work at usually about 5:30 in the morning during the week, so I thought he'd accidentally set his alarm. So my first reaction was to be kind of pissed and, you know, be like, oh, I get to sleep in finally. Why is your alarm going off? And he's like, he shoots out of bed and he's like, Stacey, this isn't a joke. Get up and get dressed. And I'm like asleep. You know when you're like asleep, you don't really know what's going on, you're kind of sleep drunk, you're like, oh my God, is he crazy? And I'm like, no, Chris, honey, it's Sunday. Go back to sleep. And he's like, no, Stacey, this isn't a joke. Get up and get dressed. So, I mean, I had like these really like long, ridiculous like pajama pants on, so I changed into some like regular pants, and I didn't care about my top. I just threw on my jacket. And he's like, I'm going to get the car and I'm pulling it up in the front. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? It's 5 in the morning. So whatever, I learned to just roll with it. You know, I kind of, yeah, as a woman, you have this intuition, and I kind of thought, okay, he's up to something, obviously. So, because it's not like Chris to do things like this, okay? That's like, Chris is not the type to do spontaneous stuff. Like, it's just, he's not like that. So I kind of just went with it. So I met him in the car, and he had told me to grab my hat and my headphones. So I was like, all right. So I get in the car, and he's like, put your headphones in, put your music on, and then he pulled my hat like over my face so that I couldn't see anything. So now it's about 10 after 5, and all of a sudden he's driving, and I could tell by how fast that he was starting to go that we had gotten onto the highway. But other than that, I was completely disoriented, which is obviously what he wanted. I had no idea where we were going. I couldn't figure it out, and I just didn't want to figure it out. But I was trying to rack my brain for where it is we were going this early in the morning, and the only thing that I could think of was that we were going to go watch the sunrise. So that's like literally the only thing. Like, what else are you going to do with me at 5 in the morning? I didn't have to work until 10. So we're driving for probably about a good 20 minutes, and the car finally stops. And now Chris hasn't spoken to me, touched me, like nothing during this whole ride. He's being eerily quiet, and I'm trying not to fall back asleep. So I'm playing like Anaconda by Nicki Minaj and stuff, just trying to stay awake. And so anyways, the car stops, and he gets out of the car and gets me out. Now, mind you, he still has me completely blindfolded. I cannot see, like, where I'm going. And that is really difficult. I've never really been blindfolded or blinded like that. So we walk, and he shuffles me over, and then he takes my hat off. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, what? We're standing on, like, a completely residential street in the middle of this small, not small town, but in the middle of this, like, smaller city. And I'm like, and he looks to his right, and I look to my right, and we're standing in front of the house where we very first met. And the house that we'd first met in, our friends, I guess the ones that actually introduced us, they used to live there. They don't live there anymore. So I'm like, oh my God. But then I was like, wait, why are we here at 5:30 in the morning? And he looks at me with this goofy grin, I can't even, and he goes, Stacey, 6 years ago, Sunday, December the 14th at 5:30 in the morning is the first time I ever laid eyes on you. like my heart just skipped a beat that he reenacted the very moment that he laid eyes on me. Mind you, I probably looked really similar because we met at 5:30 in the morning, and I probably looked as ragged as I did that moment. I was just dumbfounded, and then he said these really beautiful things, and it was so special. And then he got down on one knee, which is something that I was so excited about that he did, because I know not everybody does that anymore, so I was really happy that he did. And he took out my family ring. And I did not expect that I was going to completely get that ring. I knew it was something I always wanted, but until you get it, it's not something you ever really set yourself up for. And I, of course, said yes. And he said, phew. And then he hugged me, and we hugged, and we sat there and stood in front of this house. And then we got in the car, and then all of a sudden it hit me. Like, I thought for sure, because I watch a lot of these engagement videos and these proposal videos, and I cry like a baby. I thought for sure that the moment that Chris asked me to marry him that I would cry. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't cry that much when it was happening. I think because the adrenaline that was pumping through my veins was kind of stopping any tears from flowing. So when we got in the car, and it all of a sudden, like, we calmed down a little bit, out of nowhere, just waterworks. Like, I couldn't stop. Like, I didn't even make any sense. I was crying so much. So then we called my mom, and, you know, we started doing the calls, and, you know, and the rest is kind of history. And I'm literally like, words can't explain how happy I am. I've got to go to work, and I'm just gonna cry. I mean, you guys have seen Chris and I interact in a few videos on my main channel and one on this channel, and he's truly just, he's absolutely like everything to me, and his kids are my whole world, and I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with him married as his wife. And I didn't think that I would ever be so lucky as to meet somebody that loved me unconditionally the way that Chris has shown that he can love. And I didn't think I could love somebody back like that. I've had a rough go at it, and to be able to finally be happy is the biggest blessing in my life. And I'm really excited to document this journey for you guys, and for you guys to be able to see everything and to hear about it with me and be with me. And I want to document all of it. So that's what I'm going to do for you and for me and for anybody else that wants to see it. So with that being said, get ready for a bunch of wedding videos. I actually have a few already, because I'm going to wedding shows with my mom, and we're gonna go dress shopping, and I want to do videos about the style of wedding that we want, how our planning got started. So if there's anything wedding specific that you're looking at or want, please leave them in the comments so I know what it is exactly you're wanting to know about in regards to my wedding. And yeah, I'm excited to start this journey. So that's my proposal story, and I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.